And we should be live. Yep, there we go. So today I'll be getting USS Nevada, seeing as I'm only 39,000 RP away from it. Shouldn't be taking too much longer. And after I get Nevada, I'm probably actually going to play the German cruisers. Try and grind them a bit more. But now, first, trying to get the Nevada. I'll mainly be playing the Newport News as well to try and get it. Hello there, Boyan. Ask ahead. Krasny Krem is the one of the 130s, isn't it? I didn't really like it much. That's much for sure. So it isn't too bad if you can get close enough to the enemies. I never really liked either of the Krasnys, Kafkas or Krim. Not really, I'm not... The orange camo for the Nevada isn't a bad camo, but not really my taste. Just gonna wait, but I think most of my team is spawning up there. Follow up there. I wish ships had different icons on the map, because I have no clue that Crunch is a fool, you know, brave enough to spawn alone, or if he's actually in the pack.
Action stations, man your posts. Engines,
He was not a fool brave enough to spawn alone. Where is he? Oh, no, it was. It was the fool.
14,000 meters. Action stations, enemy spotted. Port your helm.
Aye, steer port.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Bearing 60. 14,000 meters. Battle cruiser.
I think you have mentioned it, Boyan, from the Russian cruisers, right?
14,000 meters.
Starboard your helm.
Aye.
Of course, the mines just park right out of spawn. Why wouldn't they? Do we have any... Okay, we have an enemy battle cruiser. Let's mark that for our guy.
Bearing
We have another Des Moines class. Other than that, no real high amount of Hellenas, which is interesting. What part of the German Navy there flew on top?
shells on top. Enemy. Losing speed.
Yeah, but which part of it? The destroyers, the cruisers, heavy cruisers, battleships?
Enemy hit.
Shooting too high. Yes, cruisers get further away spawn points compared to destroyers.
Enemy. Listing and losing speed.
Still shooting too high. we go.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Bearing 60. 12,000 meters. Enemy listing and losing speed. Shells on target.
Engines 1/3.
Okay, that's enemy battle cruiser just getting
Battle cruiser.
targeted, but I won't be part of that.
80.
And sir, boy, just go ahead.
1,000 meters.
Ooh, another Des Moines.
Identified. Heavy cruiser.
Bearing 11,000 meters.
Okay, so for the Blue Water Fleet in general, you've already passed the destroyers, you know them. High rate of fire, decent guns, lack of armor piercing shells, which is kind of tough at the higher BRs, but it's fine. The German light cruisers are weird. And I do have to remember what to order in, so you have Köln's the first one.
Here, hit.
Which are the other ones? Because there's one that's really good. One of those 3 German light cruisers has a much higher rate of fire compared to the other 2. And
Vessel sunk.
its name is escaping me, but I think that's the Nuremberg. You have Köln, you have Leipzig and Nuremberg. Yeah, Nuremberg is the really good one. You can just spam it. You can just fire AP at anything you see.
60.
Kronstadt, we don't want to fight Kronstadt.
Heavy cruiser. Bearing 60.
Other than that, kind of mid rate of fire.
Port your helm.
I think, are they 5.7 cruiser or are they 5.3? Because the matchmaking, especially if you're playing realistic, is just rough. Because either you're facing Halanas, which are vastly outgun you, or you're getting a full downturn to Moffat and you just wreck those fairly easily. In general, if you just can't get the hang of a cruiser, try and be a little bit more conservative with it. Stay behind cover a bit more, don't be in the front of the line. Try and go around the flanks a bit.
Direct hit.
Okay, what should I now?
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Don't want to target the Crunched, I want to target Des Moines behind it.
1,000 meters.
Control to repair party. Compound flooded compartment. Damage control to fire. Control burning compartment. All stop.
Get it.
I will say the German cruisers are a bit difficult to get a hang of, seeing as they're mostly the same, and then you have weird heavy cruisers. The Hipper, I don't have it myself, and I've heard mixed things about it. No, it's an Alaskan cruiser that we're fighting.
On target.
Just, yeah, the German cruisers are a bit rough,
Bearing 60
but not too bad.
meters.
Repair parties begin damage control.
Yeah, if you're especially the German light cruisers, which is actually a good thing to learn already. The German light cruisers are have very exposed ammo racks, and that is also the case for their heavy cruisers. So if you can learn to avoid getting shot on your ammo rack, to avoid showing your ammo rack, to avoid engagements long enough where the enemy will shoot your ammo rack, then you should be able to get the hang of the German cruisers a bit better. Go for whatever navy you think. I personally, with getting the Nevada soon, I have 3 navies I always want to keep topped up for Blue Water Fleet, and that is Japan, Britain and America.
Direct hit.
America is by far the easiest nation to get into. They have good destroyers, good cruisers, good battleships. Although the battleships are a bit rough. They're not the best battleships, but they're still good.
Enemy hit.
But still, yeah, the German Navy is not a bad choice, especially if you can get the Scharnhorst. The Japanese... I have a tier list, right? Of well, tier list. A list of nations I think is from easiest to most difficult to play. You have America and Russia almost tied. Then goes Germany. Then you have Britain after that. Then Italy. And I would even place, as a Japanese man, I'm placing Japan last. Because Japan is really rough until 5.7. You have no good ships until 5.7. With, like, an exception or two. Like the, is it the Harukaze? Yes, the Harukaze at 4.0, I want to say. Yeah, 4.0. It's a pretty decent destroyer, mainly because it's an American destroyer, kind of. I'm not Japanese, no, but I main Japan. It is the main nation I play. It's just that I already have all their ships, so I don't really play it on stream much.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Bearing.
Yeah, no problem.
9,000 meters.
Damage
Although with the
control
next
to
update with Ise being released, I'll have a good excuse to play my Japanese battleships. Kako is not that bad, but it's not that good either. Although I haven't played it in a while. Kako never really clicked with me. But it's just like all the Japanese destroyers are rough to play. The 5.0 cruisers Kuma and Sendai, Isuzu, incredibly difficult to play. Next to impossible even nowadays. And then yeah, you have Harukaze, you have Kako, and that's it until 5.7. Shimikaze is also pretty good in terms of speed, other than that. The best reserve destroyer, Britain. Easily, hands down. The HMS Vega is, in my opinion, the best reserve destroyer. Because of excellent gun arcs, excellent fire rate, you don't have to worry about torpedoes, although that can be a negative as well. The only thing that's a bit bad about Vega is a lackluster turret reverse.
All hands. We have been critically damaged.
target identified. Light cruiser.
Bearing 40. 7,000 battle cruiser. Bearing 9,000 meters. Enemy hit.
Damage control to station.
Okay. If Cleveland wants to go ahead, he can do just that.
Correct hit.
And we have lost our Kronstadt. That is not something I wanted to see.
Damage control to firefighting crews. Control boat compartment. Port your helm.
Aye, steer port.
That is kind of the point of the bigger guns, yeah. The Krasny Kafkas 180s are actually pretty good guns. I just don't really like the low volume of fire. What is shooting me? It's that guy. I mean, they will. At some point we will have a Bismarck. It's inevitable. Although I wish I'd rather do it sooner rather than later. Yep, all of those will come at some point. Question is just when, not if. Like, genuinely, when it comes to battleships, the question is not when. No, sorry, the question is not if we'll see them, the question is when.
Control boat parties. Compartment.
We will get the Yamato at some point. And it's not that overpowered. Now that is a different question. When it comes to other ship classes, that is more of an if question. Although I personally find submarines quite likely. I have no idea when or if they'll ever be added. They had 2 events of submarines, I've played both of them. There is also a user-made mission of a submarine model, which is kind of fun. Fun to play. I've also showcased that on the stream before, but yeah. Like there's a whole lot more
We are critically damaged.
like infrastructure already in place for submarines, where I would almost find it unlikely for it to not happen. But yeah.
Port all.
A good chunk of RP. Patrol ships are smaller. That is the biggest question. Hold on. My vision for submarines, how I think they would be best implemented, is you add submarines, because submarines, unlike what World of Warships would tell you, are really slow. Like, painfully slow. So in realistic battles, they wouldn't be all that useful, especially against blue water vessels when trying to capture points, and torpedoes are pretty easy to dodge if you just turn a bit. So my idea would be that you add submarines in the coastal tech tree at the battle ratings of coastal vessels, because every single coastal, well, pretty much every single coastal vessel has depth charges. And as long as a submarine has a deck gun, they could just be on the water, like above the surface, deal with coastal vessels just fine. So yeah. And then if you wanted to up-tier a submarine to a blue water vessel, that's up to you, but it's going to be slow, the torpedoes are going to be slow. Although it's a different story in arcade, because in arcade torpedoes are actually pretty fast. Yeah. I do have Battle Station specific, but I have not played it much because I find the controls a bit clunky. I really need to play it more. I don't think it would be like that kind of camera, because we do know how submarines work according to their events. They have an underwater camera, which I'm fine with. No, but if you talk... Well, you know what? I'm going to show you what the user mission is. So I'm going to go off course a bit for the stream, since I'm going to get to Nevada real soon anyways. It should be in... Where is it? User missions. And here it is. I will actually... Hold on. Before I do this, I do have to mute the crew voices, because they'll continuously say the same thing as long as I'm on the surface. So, where is it now? Battles, user missions. And this one. I really do need to look into Battle Station Pacific a bit more. And I actually do need to launch this battle too. Adios, Boyan. And I hope you'll be able to clean the lasagna. So, this is what we had during the event. Largely. So this was a user-made mission where he just made a custom 3D model and superimposed it on those event submarines, I think. Which is... somehow works. Pretty well, I'd say. You had this camera in the submarine event, you had these circles as well. The red circle is, I think, the noise you make, so the distance you get detected by sonar. And I believe the green circle is your sonar range, but I'm not entirely sure if that's what it was. And so if you submerge... Submerging is a bit rough for this user-made mission, as it doesn't really go all that well, but underwater camera. And as you can see, that is slow. Like, I believe most, well, at least most World War II battleships are faster than this. Also, as you can see, the ships do not render if you're underwater. I think unless you get close enough. I do kind of wish we were to see submarines at some point, because I just love the look of it. Especially when you see the wreck sink. Gosh, that just looks amazing. Also, this, I think these were the sounds of the event, but the torpedoes underwater do have their own noise. Which is so cool. They do immediately go to the surface and detonate on the surface because of their angle, I think. Although, actually, that one... Nope, that one detonated on the surface. So let's go above the water again. And there's the brook. Gonna launch a few torpedoes at it to make it sink. Also functioning 88, of course. Well, during the event there were capture points as well, and I think you could only capture them at certain depth. I'm not quite cool. Not quite sure. Okay. Should be able to see the hole. Or did I actually sink it? I should have sunk it. Why is our battle class not showing up? There it is. I just love the look of those sinking vessels with the light coming through the water. In general, I like the visual models are already there. The camera work is already there from that one submarine event years ago. So I am curious if / when they're going to add submarines. I do not have the link to that custom mission on hand, but I'll see if I can maybe add it as a comment after the stream is done. But now I'll continue on with the Newport news. Yes, not way more recent. They did run 2 submarine events. Both were the same vehicles, the same weaponry and stuff. But the second one was way worse. Because as you could see with this user mission, I could see underwater, right? There was clear views for quite some distance. In the second event they ran with the nuclear submarines, it was pitch black underwater, and that was so boring. Because you couldn't see where how your submarine was oriented, you couldn't see any obstacles in front of you. It was just bad. Whilst the first submarine, the original April Fool's event, had the same visibility as what I just showed you. We're going to wait for our teammates to spawn again. Just a few more. Middle spawn it is. I don't think it was really... I think the lighting of the second test was actually more realistic. Because you do lose visibility quite quickly in the underwater, for as far as I know. But yeah, I like the one where you actually had visibility a lot more. Okay, there goes the first hit. I see an enemy Scharnhorst. Not that I know of. Because the Washington Naval Treaty did restrict cruisers to 8-inch guns, didn't they? Heavy cruisers. I don't think there were any. Well, you have the monitors, I guess. The British, although they're practically battle cruisers, not actual cruisers. Although, what is the difference? You could almost ask. No, I don't think there was something like the Graf Spee when it comes to any other nation. Not that I can think off the top of my head. I really want to detonate this enemy Des Moines. It's a bit difficult at this range. Hello there, Kenneth. My guns are not behaving in these waters. Yeah, exactly. Also, if you're seeing me swing my cursor side to side, it's because I'm actually aiming with this green marker. You see how it is swaying side to side because of the waves. And that green marker is way more important when you're actually trying to aim for this lead indicator. So I'm trying to aim for the front guns, the lead indicator aims for the engine. So I do want to hit a bit more in front of it. Like that maybe. Too high. We have an enemy Dante Alighieri. We do not have any battleships ourselves, so that might become quite rough. We're now in the capture point with a bit of luck. Our motor torpedo boat gets the Scharnhorst, or maybe even the Dante. Probably the Scharnhorst since it's actually going for it, but I highly doubt it. And of course there he goes. I am not going to lie, if I was not streaming at this moment, I would probably abandon this match. As they have 2 battleships, we have none. I am assumedly the only player ship except for... Why first spawn an S-100 when you have a Scharnhorst? Why? Ah, I guess if you still have to do the battle pass tasks, that's what is it, big game hunter? Or if to sink blue water vessels with torpedoes. Yeah, that ain't it, chief. That really ain't it. Getting very close to the ammo rack of this Des Moines class. Just can't seem to hit it. I hit a shell room, not a main magazine. Yes. So, for example, especially my secondary turrets, anything that's screwed, if I repair it and gets destroyed again, I lose crew again. Oop. For some reason my cursor was so low. I mean, I can reacquire the target after every shot as well, it's just not much point in it, not at long range. Let's try and speed juke a little bit. I'm being the tip of my spear and I don't really like it. Well, I did just knock out a second shell room apparently. So that Des Moines' firepower should be heavily reduced. I mean, it is for the most part. Which makes it even more of a crime that the mouse wheel isn't by default bound to a range adjustment. In general, it's not useful to repair your anti-air guns now. Not frequently, at least. I'm also not shooting at Helen anymore because I already sank it. And there I go. The battleship got me. Surprise, surprise. I do have a battleship of my own, but I don't think it'll be much use. But we can try. That is an enemy Helena. That is a Fargo, I believe. Or is that the Des Moines? That could be the Des Moines. That's another Helena. Where is the Dante? There it is. You can. The thing is, you are throwing away your victory if you're doing that. You can do that. You can indeed go for the carriage to try and make a sell, but you're throwing away a victory. And you're being the exact person other players will hate. I have never done it myself. I've never even tried to do it myself yet. Mainly because I never really play coastal vessels on this map type. Hello there, Deutschland. A bit high, but it was still decent damage. Okay, there goes the rear of the Helena. Yep, this battle is most certainly not going to be a victory. Those shells might be a bit too high. Good enough. My man, every single realistic battle at this BR, and actually above like 4-3 is almost a bot game. It's just sometimes you have the luck of the dice with you and your team wins. Sometimes the other team wins. In this case, the other team wins. A combined of 4 kills, and I have 2 of them. Wait, that's Weeby? I didn't even... How did I not even notice that was Weeby playing as Scharnhorst? Alrighty. I didn't even know he played naval for fun. Then again, I haven't really been following the guy lately. Weeby is a YouTuber, and he also made a custom game mode for naval a while back where he did a few rounds of testing for, and then that's been on hiatus for like 2 years. I think, yeah, it's like an actual battle stations game what he tried to recreate as well. That's under St. Helena at least. I'm actually surprised to run into Weeby in a random naval match. Where is he now? There he is. Sailing around the objective behind our spawn, because why not?
Take him down.
This game is about to be over, so let's just fire a final salvo. And I think I literally won't have enough time to fire another salvo. I have yet to kill the rat in a normal naval match. Usually because he leaves long before I can actually get to him. But yeah, I have yet to see him. Well, no, I have seen him several times. I've even caught him on stream several times. But I have yet to slay it. I think what happened once as well, both between boat and naked, right? I think we sank him 3 times by detonation when the what is that Italian battleship? Their second one, not Dante. Come on. Doria, that's the one. I think both boat and naked sank him like 3 times during one day by instant detonation in the Doria when that first came out. I must say that was quite satisfying to see those screenshots. Poor match, but it will. Jump straight into the next one. Nevada will be mine today, that's for sure. It'll make such a nice... Like, the Wyoming, Nevada, and Arizona lineup is actually not that bad of a lineup. I don't actually know if the rat plays naval that much. The only times I really see him play is when a new ship gets brought out. Usually a new top tier one, because he just requests it through the CC program. Or buys it outright with his Golden Eagles from the CC program. I really don't like the rat. I was on the fence about Napalm Rat for a long time, until he made that video on why people bought, and that's just nope. Nope. Just nope. We have 2 coastals. We have Weeby again. Yeah, it's the same thing with certain tanks as well. If you play vehicles that rarely are ever seen in matches, people just don't know how to deal with it. I don't like the rat much. I really don't. I don't like the people who pull up spreadsheets if I improve a ship is better than another. Oh my god, you have to be kidding me. Oh no. I mean, if it's cheap, I guess. But if you... The Des Moines class doesn't offer anything extra compared to stuff like the Helenas, the Clevelands. Other than a bit more punching power for the same rate of fire, but less shells per salvo. And of course the Des Moines class is that quite explosive. Well, yeah. That, yep, it's just... I definitely don't. He's also had some very questionable takes on some ships, like how good they are. I think he called this, like the Zara and Pola, some of the worst heavy cruisers, which is just factually incorrect. There's some of the better ones. This guy is just bullying people now. I am talking about Napalm, yeah. He's come up because we ran into another YouTuber on here, Weeby. That's a Lubeck spawn? That's Yeah, that was quite a take as well. You get best BP, yeah, sure, in your dreams. But with Commander's Trail we have a better naval CC up and coming. Although his video style... He makes good videos, but they're not quite my style to watch. And he's a much more agreeable person as well. I mean, yeah, I do not have the Hipper, so I don't really know, and I haven't played the Zara class enough either to really know the differences and strengths. But my biggest gripe with people saying, oh yeah, this ship is better than this ship, is that's just not how you should compare ships. You need to look at lineups, you need to look at aircraft cover, you need to look at coastal vessels in the lineup, you need to think about what kind of matchmaking you get with that ship. Just, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Flipped Stick has just become a bit, just didn't like where naval is going. The best, if we're talking actual battleship, I would say Scharnhorst, because that is technically the only battleship of that kind. When it comes to best, like, battleship slash battle cruiser, Kronstadt is the most obvious answer. Also, I'm starting to become really a fan of where Japan is heading because they have a full lineup of 14-inch battleships. Slash battle cruisers if you take the Congo along as well. Didn't the Paris kind of get put by the wayside when Kronstadt came along? Although, with the new changes to battleship survivability, Parishkaya Kommuna is going to be quite formidable again because its citadel is quite low in the water. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit over to sea. Although I see that Italian battleship looking in my direction and I do not like it. I mean, are the guns in PK still junk? It's just that the SAP meta that used to be dominated by the Russians isn't really a thing anymore. And is their AP really that bad? I've never really looked into it. PK is Parishkaya Kommuna, the third of the Russian dreadnoughts. The one with all the anti-air. It's just abbreviated to PK because Parishkaya Kommuna is quite a mouthful, especially to type. I mean, yeah, the Kronstadt of course has way better guns than those three. Yeah, SAP is really no longer the meta. God damn it, Sky. The one shall I take? Ugh. And I do not have no spawn point for it either. God damn it. I got too greedy. Where is he? There he is. We assume so. They were kind of modeled on the dev server, the Strelas on the Paul-class corvettes. But they didn't really work. There was just like a keybind for them and they seemed to rotate. But nobody ever got them to fire. We were not quite sure on that. I kind of hope we'll see them be functional next update. Because I'm all for more anti-air missiles. You can join me after this battle, chicken. I'm fine with that. Is Weeby still here? Yeah, but he's still in the loopback for some reason. I am indeed playing 6.3. And I plan to continue playing that until I get Nevada. The Fritz X, I played them on stream a few weeks ago, I think. They're kind of difficult to use in my experience. Also because I didn't really have a good platform for them, I only had the Heinkel 111. I find them difficult to use and their explosive mass isn't that great. You might as well just go with like a 1000 kilo bomb or the 2500 kilo bomb you have on some bombers. Rather than trying for a guided bomb. Very nice. Yeah, Italy is most likely going to be my next major, well, my next Blue Water Nation I get completed because I only need to get the 3 battleships from Italy. And I have the Blue Water 3 completed. I mean, if it works for you, fine. I just think that you don't really need to put that much effort into guiding your bomb. I've heard it as well when it came out, although I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not still. Because I've heard a lot of people say that the Duilio is also a really just solid battleship. Is it the worst of the 3 when it comes for dispersion? Yeah, I've read it as well, but I just wasn't sure if that's still the case. If that's really the case, that is very bad dispersion. Also, not that it matters much, because it seems that Sky is getting pummeled to death, and he might actually not have parts on his Giulio yet. I don't think he's had it for very long. Although these short 12-inch guns don't seem to pen him, even at this close range. It is a fine-looking battleship, genuinely good-looking. Another drill. I mean, on the current live patch, battleships aren't all that fun. Although next update, again, they're becoming a lot tankier. So you might want to try and get one and just wait to play them until next update. And see how they feel then. I think Sky should be sinking with the next salvo or 2. Yeah, 0% crew. I didn't see that very often anymore. Can I get the kill? Can I get the kill? Damn it. And now I'm getting bombarded by 2 Des Moines or just the 1? Ouch, the high explosive hurts. It also does not help I'm broadside to that thing. But, of course, that's a Des Moines, so he just detonated. If you have the choice between Congo or Satsu, definitely Congo. The Satsu is a painful dreadnought. Although I kind of did like it back in the day, because the NTR is actually pretty decent for a battleship, for a dreadnought. But those guns are just so lackluster. It's also Setsu is very thin armor. Like, I think armor-wise, those two ships are pretty similar. I have to double check. I'm curious, of course, Sky did have a backup for his battleship. So, is that salvo going straight from her frontal magazine? Let's find out. That's pretty impressive to sink a Fargo of high explosive, especially that small high explosive. But yeah, let me double check the armor on the Setsu and the Congo, because I think they're both pretty similar. So we go to Japan. We're going to look at Setsu first. .200mm plating for the upper belt. Of course, next update that will change. Whereas the crew actually, they're saying that the crew compartment is going to be behind the armor. Is it going to be behind that thin little like main belt for the Setsu? You see, this is kind of the difficult part about talking about battleship survivability now, knowing full well that next update are going to become a lot tougher. So Setsu might be quite tough depending on where you put the crew emplacement. It has a 200mm belt for most of it, 152, then 279 for the barbettes, and 305 for the main belt. And of course, slow, bad guns. So we go to Congo. And the armor is, look at that, pretty much similar when it comes to the main belt, 203. No problem, chicken. I was just out of just in the hangar anyways. Yeah, Congo's main belt is thinner, I guess. But it comes at greater top speed, actual anti-air firepower, and much better main guns. So let me just invite chicken. This is the concrete thing on the front. Let me just... And stern, that's right. Yeah, concrete, just encasing the... how do you call it? The steering gear. Yep. I need to look up what the actual thickness modifier is for concrete. Just give me a quick second. Yeah, it might be there for you. Is it 0.3, 0.35? Where's the naval section? There it is. It is indeed 0.35, which makes its effective thickness a bit odd, I guess. Oh well. But I'm also kind of a fan of the Congo class battle cruisers, so I'm heavily biased towards them instead of the Setsu. It's also not really a reason to go for Fuso, really. Because with the next update you can have Congo, Hyuga and Ise as a full 14-inch lineup, if you really want that. Fuso does make a better replacement for Hyuga, though. But oh well, we were doing America. And he's ready, okay. At this rate, I'm actually kind of hoping we'll see all of the Japanese 14-inch battleships, because we currently do have 5 out of 8. And the... Oh, how am I forgetting Fuso's sister? Yamashiro was also data mined in a World War I refit. The Akoma, I didn't really like the pre-dreadnoughts. Actually, now that you mention it, I wonder if the survivability thing extends to the Akoma. Because if it does, that might make it a lot tougher. I'm definitely, when the update goes live, obviously the French tech tree is what I have to go play for the first, like, stream or like the first week. Is most likely just going to be France. But I'm going to be having to play battleships as well. Are we facing our little boat guy? No. Good. We're not fighting BBI because I just sat around the hangar, of course. Ooh, Prince Eugen. Oh, you don't have FP? Can I actually... I don't know if ships can help with FP. I don't think they can. No, they can't. They can only help with repairs. I'm also actually kind of interested for the next few updates, because we all knew that the next big thing that naval had to happen was the introduction of the French naval tree. That's happened. So what's gonna be next? I'm also still heavily biased towards the idea of both submarines and even carriers. I want more ship types, damn it. I want more fun for custom battles. It's a bit of a shame that we haven't seen anything about French coastal yet. With a very real possibility of not even seeing it this update. Yeah. I really want Gaijin to just hurry up with these battleship editions. Like, we've been at 7.0 now for quite some time. Yep, they certainly would.
Thanks.
Hood and Byron came out quite a while ago now. I'd have to actually look up what updates specifically, but they're quite a while. These ships seem to be a lot closer to me, so I just target them. And just ask ahead, Boyan. You don't have to ask for my permission. I also have a real hope that if they add 7.3, and I pray to God no other premiums at 6.3, we might have a bracket where we don't fight zombies. That's also one of the main reasons why I really want to see 7.3 battleships. Just to go beyond this 6.0 hellhole. I do indeed know that Spokane has a different 130mm. I think it's a longer gun. to sink. Well, chicken can get him to sink apparently. Again, I'm trying to decipher what name that is, but I am not good at reading Cyrillic. Is that Spokojny? Oh, it looks like it, yeah. Yeah, ooh. Nope. I have run myself aground. So time to reverse. I don't get these people. Yeah, Dutchland, I recently saw you post an image of like the... Oh, it was Tashkent with the guns of an earlier destroyer we also have in game. With a square single turrets. The name escapes me as many Russian destroyer names do. Riani, that's the one. And the Tactri version of it. But yeah, there's apparently a version of Tashkent. But instead of having the... Gee, we're still running aground. I'm just on the edge of the sandbank. Yeah, probably. As an interim, something like that. I will say that I do get the distinct feeling we haven't seen everything yet what to come next update. Of course, we're still missing half the French tech tree. But I still get the sneaking feeling like there's still more. More that isn't just French ships. And I really hope my sneaking suspicion is correct. I mean, next update we have the French naval tree being added. And we've only, on the dev server, only seen up to the Colbert. I saw that tutorial, I did read it a bit, although I'm not really all that bothered about the economy stuff at the moment. I'm still holding out to see what they're going to post on the 14th. Because they keep making a big deal about their roadmap on the 14th, and I'm gonna hold out for that. Yeah. Although I'm always a fan of Gaijin actually trying to say something. I mean, 15,000 entries is not that bad. Because you still have to consider, right? A game is still a game. Kids play this. People who are not really all that invested in it play it. People who don't look at forums. People who do not look at dev blogs. But yeah, French battleship was the Corbet class. Paris. Like, 15,000 entries is really not that bad. For a game of 130,000 daily players. I mean, I'm not a game data specialist or anything like that, but that doesn't sound that bad. Yeah, they've said this on the dev stream as well. We are getting a full blue water tech tree for France. It's just that the latter half of it wasn't ready for the dev server. Nah, it's gonna be... I am actually kind of holding my breath to see how rich the cruiser lineup is going to be for France. But yeah. My first impressions of the French destroyers, because that's all I played on the dev server, is I place them in between Italy and Britain. With Britain still being a little bit more beginner friendly, a bit more competitive, whereas France is still competitive, I'd like to say, especially the destroyers, but definitely not easy to play. I don't think they're going to do the tutorial. Don't have to be that negative about it. Also, I think New Power was supposed to be War Thunder 2.0. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the roadmap they're going to... Yep, see you, Boyne. I'm just gonna wait for the roadmap they're going to post on the 14th that they keep talking about. Toshan wants to join as well, by the looks of it. There we go. Getting closer and closer to Nevada. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next update. Getting French Navy, we're getting EC. And that's literally all I remember for the naval editions. Yeah, I don't think there were really that many. Oh yeah, there was a Tech 3 German ship we're getting. That's the Tech 3 version of the premium. Just gonna wait on chicken. Ah yes, Daring as well. It seems to be a better version of the one we already have. And everybody's ready. I'm definitely going to get the Z47 as well. I kind of like the look of Z47. With HE only, it's not all that potent. But it does look cool. those ones you can switch. Now let me double check what were actually the new naval vehicles. Of course, the missile destroyer for Russia. And it's literally it. So the Z-46, which is a tactical counterpart of a premium. A Daring, which is just another Daring. The missile destroyer, cool. Easy, cool. Although I would have preferred if it was the battle carrier version of it, even if it didn't have functional aircraft, don't care. Battle carrier version looks cooler. And the French Navy. It's so few ships. Really makes me think we're going to see more ships. I'm not looking forward to grinding with Germany, because I somehow managed to only have one ship available to spade every time I unlock a new ship, and it's really annoying with the way I grind. I also just don't really care about the German dreadnoughts. I don't think 16-inch guns would be OP. I will say the one thing I think would be OP about Nagato is apparently it has a really good reload. A really good reload. I think 26 seconds, was it, for 16-inch guns? It's just my problem with big guns. Like, sure, bigger number equals better, but no. Because if any of you have already played ships with 15-inch guns, they overpen every single cruiser they fight. Unless it's Bowen. 21, but I'm not gonna lie, 16-inch guns with roughly the same reload that we currently have on 12-inch battle cruisers would be so much fun. Need to zoom out. Yeah. Like, you say 21.5 seconds, but I am very hesitant to believe they'll ever give it a 21.5 second reload.
I agree.
Oh god, just get out of the way here, Shilashnikov. I'm just gonna nudge you. Or nudge myself, whatever works. Yes, I do not really want to get, out of cover here. No, Warhead, it's 15-inch you have to think of. Like, just consider the hood, but even more penetration and even less sensitive fuse. Like, I've played 15-inch guns and I do not like them, because if you're shooting at a broadsiding Helena, your shells are going straight through one end, straight out the other without even fusing. The thing is though, if you fire at a bow-in Helena with 15-inch guns, you'll two-shot it, genuinely. It'll just destroy the entire ship. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what it'll do to the big guns in the future. Marlborough is the last ship I actually researched and never really played it. But I think it's... like, Marlborough was already tough. And next update it's going to be really tough, I think. And Marlborough has really good guns too. If only this ship had an aircraft and not a helicopter deck. And that cruiser is actually pretty well in range. Although I need to get around this island. Never mind. Friendly already on Charlie, that's good to see. Not often I run into a squadron mate like that. But I guess we do. Every now and then.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
That's Alpha, not Charlie. Ooh, but there is another guy at Alpha that's gonna fall to the enemy. This is one of those maps that I really do not like playing on anything destroyer size and smaller. But I love this map for cruisers and battleships. Like 5-7 and above, I love this map. Genuinely, and I think instead of trying to slow down, I need to turn around. Because I see... Okay, there's a cruiser still. This map is really bad for coastals. Even not that great for destroyers. But cruisers and above, especially the bigger cruisers and battleships, perfect.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Yeah, getting to Bravo is a bit of a suicide mission with all these cruisers, not gonna lie. I do not have a smoke screen on my Newport News either. So we do like Sir Robin and bravely run away. Yeah, I'm just not gonna even try and shoot, I'm just gonna try and get into cover as soon as possible. Yeah, battleships can get... I read the question way too late. But battleships can get the game mode of 3 capture points quite easily. That fire needs to go out first, although that's not a fire in the turret, good. I thought it was going to be a fire in the main gun turret. It may have been quicker to just reverse into cover. But that's a lesson learned, I guess. On the topic of scout planes when it comes to ESA, it kind of annoys me that they still don't correct the aircraft on some of the Japanese ships. Like the Fuso for some reason launches E-13s, whilst the Miyoko with an E-13 on the catapult launches F-1Ms. God, what is shooting me? Oh, we have a Sharn horse just driving down them. Okay. I wish good luck to it. And now we'll come to a halt. And we start just laying into this Des Moines. Can I get a detonation? I'm shooting a bit too far forward. At this point it's just a crew kill. So let's try to actually claim that kill. There we go. Yeah, I could sadly not stop you. Well, it seems our friendly Sharn horse might be making a push towards Bravo. Although he also seems to be very much on fire. Let's try and pre-turn the rear turret a bit. And there we go. To sink is Kalashnikov. Alrighty, Daniel. See you in the next one. No, we lost our squadron. We lost our squadron mate. Miss Duilio. Sharners did manage to capture Bravo. Perfect. Things do have enough time to maybe capture Charlie as well. So I might actually try and rush Alpha. Yeah, the two cruisers are behind an island from me at the moment, chicken. I'm very sorry about that. We're gonna go behind the Kalashnikov. try to at least. And our Scharnhorst did his duty by just capturing the point. I do not think I've ever had a gold mode in Wars in the Navy, no. Because I'm not the kind of person to actually bring coastal vessels out into naval that much. It's definitely doable with stuff like the PR-123, but I've never done it myself. Deutschland. His internet might have given out. We've got a friendly coastal vessel making his way to Alpha again. I do not have to rush Alpha anymore. I basically just have to make sure nothing gets onto Bravo. But seeing as I think the entire enemy team is zombies, nothing will. Enemy Des Moines. Let's see. Can we get an Amarak? And can we get it soon? Definitely have more than enough time left to turn the tickets around. Shall seem on target. And there we go. Detonation of the Newport News. I will say, if you don't get Amarak in the Des Moines class heavy cruiser, a very good cruiser to deal with the zombies. Because of the hard hitting and fast firing 8-inch guns. Then again, since most of the zombies are actually Helenas with next to no armor, Pretty much any high rate fire cruiser can do well against them. Let's aim a bit further to the rear. Japanese torpedoes in general are very dangerous in arcade. Shimakaze is quite good in arcade though, because it can launch a very large torpedo spread that just reloads after a while. Whereas I personally prefer the other destroyers with actual torpedo reloads in realistic battles a bit more. And Chicken managed to capture Charlie, by the looks of it. Yes, because capture points in naval don't allow you to repair on them, which is weird, but that is a thing. Oh yeah, the thing with Japanese destroyers, you do not get into close range. At all. That is just something you don't do with the Japanese destroyers. No matter how much you want to, you just don't. You just want to stay at 7 kilometers and beyond, basically. Because the one good thing about the Japanese 127s is they're really high velocity. They have very, very good shell velocity. I don't really want to go for ventilation because that will most likely use up my spading bonus. So I'll just go for ammo wetting next. And 2 more good matches, and we should have Nevada. And yeah, it seems the Deutschland's engine connection cut out. The more I keep thinking about it, the more I'm curious about the 5.7 and 6.0 cruisers we might see for France. And if we maybe see that Colbert post-war anti-air cruiser. If anything, I'm a little bit disappointed that they're not going to add the Dunkirk right on release. I think they've denied it already that they're not going to add those quadruple turreted battleships. Not this update at least. Yes. the Dunkirk and the... I'm lost on ship names today. What is that other 16-inch one or 15-inch one they have? The French. Jean Bart, that's the one. Like Jean Bart and Dunkirk would be interesting ships. Dunkirk especially because I think it has, what, 13-inch guns or 12-inch guns, something like that. Like a gun caliber that's more than fine already to see in the game. A suspiciously long queue time for the battle rating we've been playing. Yeah, I thought it was 330, so that is 13-inch, which should translate to roughly 13-inch. Which I think would have been a very nice battleship to have for France right on release. But no, I think we're going to have to do the Courbet for a while. We'll wait and see where our team spawns as usual. Any familiar faces? Not really. Theoretically, my North Dakota has a higher RP modifier. But I think I'll just do more damage in the Newport News. I mean, you can get a kill on anything with any gun, basically. But you'll see at the rewards for how much damage you actually did to it. Oh, that's something I love seeing as well, especially recently because of all the economy stuff, right? People are saying, oh, naval should have damage-based kill rewards. Naval already has damage-based kill rewards. It's just that the modifier to the rewards from getting a kill compared to an assist is quite high. But there is already damage-based rewards for naval. And not many people seem to realize it yet. Don't tell me the cruncher is shooting me first, right? That would suck. And of course I lost my bridge in a full turn, because that's the only time you ever lose your bridge. I'm going in a full turn. Ouch. Well, I'm no longer being shot at, so that's a positive. Although I don't really feel all that safe if a crunch are just motoring down the flank. I'll probably just work towards the B-26 and drop a bomb on him. Yeah, I've spaded the Invincible a while ago as well. It's just not fun. It just isn't. And I think it has the same guns as the Dreadnought. So the Dreadnought is also kind of painful because it's even slower than the Invincible. And the armor isn't all that much better. But from Colossus onwards, the gun firepower is pretty decent. What's that battlecruiser? Another Kronstadt. There's a Kronstadt duel going on, is there? Well, let's hope our Kronstadt wins. I'm gonna run into that sandbar again, am I? So I think I'm going to turn around a bit. Start aiming to the other side. That's an Alaska, I think. It looks like an Alaska. But yeah, let's shoot at some cruisers first. Is this not that sandbank I ran into before? Not getting a shallow depth warning yet. So let's just keep going. And our Kronstadt lost the Kronstadt duel. Why am I not surprised? If it fires at you, I'm going to fire. Yeah, it's firing at you, isn't it? Let's spray it down a bit then. That's a Kronstadt of a high crew level as well. Sitting at 99%? What was our Kronstadt shooting at? Excuse me? Oh god. What? Sometimes, man, I don't even know what's going on. Oh look, a third battlecruiser. Another Kronstadt. This isn't gonna end well. Although we do have cap control. Well, there went our best hope for victory. Our only actual 7.0 battleship. Yikes. Wait, no, hold on. He was in a Kronstadt. He did not get a kill. In a... I don't want to stat shame, but I'm curious. I am really curious. Hold on. I don't care if I lose my ship. I need to... That's arcade. How do you have a 10-to-1 kill death ratio in a Kronstadt, and this happened to you? Oh god. Okay then, that happens. I guess that happens. Does enduring concentration actually count towards a player card? I saw that it didn't count towards the player card because I remember I spaded the Kuma and way back when EC first came out, and those stats did not count on the player card. That Kronstadt player is legitimately breaking my mind. I do not understand how you can play a Kronstadt, have a 10-to-1 KD in it, and not think anything. I'm confused. You say that, but he didn't kill a single bot this match. And it's not like he spawned in and immediately got detonated either. He was there for a good few minutes. Sometimes, man. Sometimes this game still surprises me after 13 years. Nope. 11 years. Yes. That is such a confusing match. None of that made sense. But I'm not going to complain about a victory. Especially another one that's top of this team. Jesus. It was a pretty short match. So yeah. Well, let's try again. Actually, let me double check something. I'm having a great time in the Newport News. I've only been detonated once yet in the Newport News, and that was by Sky Spray, a guy I actually know. So I'm having a great time. Yep. And one decent match, and I have my Nevada, and I've recompleted my American Tech Tree then. And then I'll have my top 3 Blue Water fleets ready to go again. Oh, are you? Well, I'm probably not going to be on for too much longer, I'm sorry to say. I wanted to keep it kind of short today. I'm already nearing midnight. Mainly because I really need to work on the French pre-order video. Not the word that I've written the full script on the French pre-order video. I've already voice recorded all of it. So I should have it out by tomorrow. Like, getting gameplay footage is not going to be that difficult, and the editing is not going to take me longer than 2 hours. I should have it out by tomorrow. I do not have the orange skin for Nevada, and I do not plan on getting it. Whilst, yes, it is kind of funny, not really my style of camos. Well, it's not that I don't have an interest in the German ships, I just... My priority is Japan, Britain and America, and just keeping those three up to date is already work enough. And I'm just... Dreadnoughts in general don't really do it for me. Not World War I dreadnoughts. Yeah. I did get a very good spawn point just now. That's perfect. Enemy Alaska, we do have a Kaiser. Do we have any other battleship captain? Nice. I mean, if you get a very good EC match, you can just steamroll people. I think 2 weeks ago, was it, or something, I played an EC match with my Americans in the Alaska. Steamrolled people. Because if you get the momentum first, where you can spawn your battleship first before the enemy can, you are just shooting destroyers and cruisers over and over again. I think battle cruisers in general are really fun in EC. Especially the ones with fast reload. I'm not gonna repair because I'm under concentrated fire from a Helena, which is always fun. So we're going to wait until that... Oh, we have a Hyuga. We have a Hyuga and a Wyoming. Brave, brave man. Playing a Hyuga in this day and age.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
When it comes to repair costs, yes, sure, battleships are very expensive. I genuinely don't care. Because if I really want to gain more SL, I just play my cruisers or play some premium destroyers I have laying around. Like, I think playing today, I've earned I've only been streaming for 2 hours, right? And I've earned almost 400,000 SL. Granted, with premium account, of course. But it's not like I'm playing cheap ships. It's just, the Hyuga in general is just a massive powder keg. Its frontal magazine is massive and really easy to detonate when you're an opposing battleship. So that's why Hyuga has very hard hitting guns. Decently protected as long as a battleship doesn't hit that front magazine. And you're fine. It's kind of like a Moffat situation. Any half-decent battleship captain knows where to detonate a Hyuga. And it's really easy to do. Rear magazine is also vulnerable, but I've had more luck with the frontal magazine. Yeah, that is what. Yeah, you can't like try and kite away from enemies to hide your rear magazine. Just you hide your front magazine. I mean, yeah, Hugh is a bit of a painful ship. Very potent guns, but just lacks the survivability. I don't just fire AP. I never really got the craze about sap shells on Battleship, even back when they were really meta. I always fired AP out of them. And the thing is, back in the day when sap was the meta, the only battleships I had were the Japanese. And the only one with actual decent sap was Hyuga, quote unquote, but that, you know, was a pounder keg. Yeah. Uh, 4.3 German blue water destroyers. They have very good guns and good rate of fire, but they lack the penetration. They can deal with most destroyers, but if you're fighting cruisers, try not to fight them. Try to stay away from them. Also, your turrets are vulnerable to HE, so that's a bit of a negative. I like the German destroyers because of their high rate of fire, though kind of low ammo loads, so do be careful of that. But in general, they're pretty solid. Just try and use cover, try not to engage more than one target at a time, so don't expose yourself to more than one enemy ship at a time in German destroyers. And just see what happens then. Try and stay at like a medium range, 4 or 5-ish kilometers. Yeah. That's also the depressing part about playing a battleship. Like, battleships are still quite tough. They're quite, you know, resilient. Their firepower is great. But when you get focused down by 4 or 5 or 6 bot Helenas, you are just losing the will to live. So yeah, chicken, that should improve a lot next update. I should be firing at some of these AI ships a bit. I mean, Z-20 should be like any of the other German destroyers, right? Or as far as I know. So it should be pretty alright. And again, with German destroyers, use the base she's high explosive. Just fire away at any destroyer you see. Try to avoid armored cruisers or any armored ship. And try to make it so you fight one-on-one, because then you can usually win the fight with your high rate of fire. But the German destroyers aren't all that tanky. So if you get into 2v1 or even 3v1 engagements, you don't want that. You'll lose way too quickly. I don't have Z-20 myself, but I think it's just an average German destroyer with a bit better anti-air, you know, protection. There's the enemy hipper. Yeah. Should be an alright ship. Just try and do what I said I did. What I just said. Try and do one-to-one engagements. Don't get too close. Although you can brawl in those ships kind of effectively. And don't get into fights with anything with actual armor. And you should be alright with most German destroyers. The 204. I've seen good things about the 204. I've seen quite a few of them in random battles. And it seems quite good. I don't have it myself, so don't take my word for it. But I have seen quite a few of them rolling around and they seem pretty potent. Also, what I'd recommend... Actually, a talisman on that thing might not be too bad. If you have the SKR-7, because it's a squadron vehicle, putting a talisman on that would also be quite a good idea. Because that's a very potent frigate. Yeah, I know what ship it is. It's just I don't have it myself, so I also don't have any of the other Russian ships with that 57. So I'm not that familiar with that weapon platform. So I can't really honestly say if you should get a talisman on it or not. But from facing it, it doesn't seem that bad. Oh look, our entire team is gone. Would have guessed. Let me think, because I'm just in the middle of this engagement. It isn't, because those 152mm actually have SAP. They can actually fight cruisers and other armored vessels, although with a low rate of fire. So whereas with most of the German destroyers with high rate of fire you can brawl kind of effectively with them, you cannot brawl at all with the Z-32. Not in my experience, at least. So you want to stay a bit more at range, and you can start fighting some cruisers a bit in that thing. Although still not preferred, because you are a destroyer and much more vulnerable. Oh god, that's a Nevada shooting me as well. I thought it was just another Helena bot shooting me again. No, that's not Nevada, that's the Alaska. Retreat, retreat. Yeah. Oh, Wyoming didn't stick around either. It is not a good cruiser, because it's a World War I cruiser, and you can tell by the guns. It is not too bad against destroyers, but against other cruisers it is severely outgunned. I'm trying to remember if I liked the Elbing or not, and I don't think I did too much. It's also kind of slow. The guns themselves aren't that bad. They're just the worst guns of that caliber in the German Navy. And for the German trees, it's a bit something to get used to. I do think it has AP. If it doesn't have AP, it at least has SAP. So it doesn't have a problem with armor or anything like that. Yeah, the thing is also, it has different 150s from the Emden. The Emden has better guns. Like, the Elbing is more like a curiosity in the tech tree, rather than a ship you really should try and get. A lot of 4.7 cruisers really are like that. They're really just filler more than anything. God. I wouldn't say that the 5.3 German cruisers are very good. They're solid. They're... Oh, there's a crunch on my ass. Gotta move on. You know, it's at this point where I wish I was playing a Japanese cruiser and had torpedoes. Ah, jeez. So the enemy has a Nevada, a Kronstadt, and an Alaska at least. And we had one Wyoming, a Hugo, a Maine in North Dakota, and a Kaiser. And I forgot to change my bomb loadout. Well, time to carpet bomb something, I guess. I mean, I didn't really like the Elbing because I had to go back to research it and then use it to research a higher tier vessel. It was like kind of in the way for me. But I don't remember it as being too bad, just a bit annoying. I think that's them trying to manually shoot me down, because that's way too accurate for AI fire from that range. So that's a Kronstadt in Alaska. That's 2 Helenas and a Nevada. I don't think they have more battleships than that though. This is such a bad idea. Although that guy seems to be stationary, so let's just do that. And get the hell out of dodge. Those are the 2 enemy ships I have left to sink to win this match. But I have to get around 3 Helenas to get to them in 6-ish minutes. mean, the rank 5 ones aren't bad. The stuff like the Jaguar is really good. Even the Hugin and the... whatever the other one is. Like, even the pure... like, rank 5 coastal generally is pretty good for all nations. Germany has a pretty solid rank 5 coastal lineup as well. Jaguar, Pure 206, stuff like that. That's another thing, chicken. The casemates... the casemates are going to become a lot more resistant to high explosive. Okay, that's the Emden, that's the T-22. Gonna drop them in wars. Yeah. That is not a bug, that is just HE. And probably the reason why they're reworking battleship survivability. Ah, Jesus. My bomb bay was closed. I'm stupid. There we go. I know, chicken. It's like that for some ships, and it's really stupid. Let's try and drop the singular now. The thing is, the Kaiser is tanky, just not to Helena HE spam. Ouch. There goes part of my tail. I did not choose a good flight path. Although that Amden should be sinking. But can I finish off the T-22? Okay, the Amden didn't need sink. Heavily damaged aircraft here. Also, what is that? Does a T-22 really have that many 20 mils? Like, damn. Oop, I should not have made that turn. I should not have made that turn. We're safe. If just 9 meters, we're plenty of room. Oh, we have to turn to battlefield, but I can't turn left. Am I just crashing into the ocean? There was a Tony? Oh yeah, if you're coming in from Narado, it's just a one destroyer. It is just a one destroyer and it's 2 minutes left. Although you have to fly through the NTR, chicken, you have to be very careful. I suppose, like it's this one. This one, right here, on the mark. On the squad mark. I might actually get to it myself as well, for one more drop. Just up and down dodging. Up and down dodging. I'm trying to stay in course. Okay, there's where all my bombs. I can now crash in peace. I have backups, but I'm not going to use them. Lubeck is pretty interesting as a frigate. I don't have it myself, though. But I do think it's a pretty interesting frigate. You're running the gauntlet there, chicken. Playing it risky. It's the burning destroyer you see on your slight right. Like your 1 o'clock, I'd say. There you go. Yep, nope, that's the cruiser. Yep. 20 seconds, really? Aww. So close. So close. But, with a bit of luck, this should be Nevada. It is Nevada. Unless I've been Gaijined. I've been Gaijined. No. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Because yeah, that isn't all ship research, that's plane research as well. Okay then. Well. Up for one more. And here I was thinking I was going to make it a shorter stream than usual. Now, after this battle, I should have Nevada. And if I don't... I think I'll end the stream anyways if I don't after this battle. Okay, Midway. Actually one of my more liked maps of this one cap maps. Yeah. Any familiar faces? Not that I can immediately recognize, although that's... Ooh, we're with the battleship squad is now on our side. That's good. So that was the Kronstadt Alaska squad from last match. Enemy Congo. Okay. Well, Congo only has an 8-inch belt. It's 10 kilometers away. I can barely penetrate that belt. Actually, I can't. It's about I can't. So I'm going to shoot at the cruiser first. That cruiser is hugging the Congo. Yeah, the K2 is well armored, but its speed is just depressing. Well, it also only has high explosive and no actual armor piercing, so... yeah. K2 is a weird ship to just be in the German line. I feel bad for bullying this Mikuma. Then again, it is a Mikuma. The Congo's already dead? Oh no! Jesus. A Congo should not be sinking that quick. Oh. Yeah, that was brutal. What happened to the Congo? Yes, the problem I find with stuff like the AFD3 is that slow coastal vessels don't really do too well anymore. Unless you're fighting nothing but coastal vessels, slow coastal vessels don't do it for me, at least. That's the squad. They're in 5-0s. AFDs are 2-7, aren't they? They'll fight destroyers. Like, even I've recently started playing arcade to play my coastals, because research is apparently the same between arcade and realistic. And arcade seems to have a higher population of actual coastal players. Yeah, that's just... AFDs used to be really fun when you were fighting like 90% coastals and like the odd destroyer or two. The thing is, when I also think back of the pre-naval split like times, destroyers used to have the same damage model as coastal vessels, making these slower like battle barges more effective, like kind of actually pretty effective against destroyers. Easier to hide, yes, but you're constantly fighting destroyers. Like 80% of them are destroyers. In my experience, at least, every time I try and play coastal vessels, I'm fighting against 1 or 2 enemy coastal vessels, and then nothing but reserve destroyers. Things I did, like, yeah, of course you can kill those destroyers if you're playing realistic battles, but not with every single coastal vessel. Like, have you tried playing a Zippo in realistic battles? Not fun. I don't know. Naval Arcade has grown on me for coastals. Oh, you have actually? Oh, damn it. I don't... Yeah, it's just... The thing is, I prefer realistic as well, even for coastal vessels, but just... I've gotten turned off by it because of the matchmaking. It's just not the same as I remember. Goddamn naval split and damage model changes. I must stop before I turn into old man yells at cloud meme. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but coastal was so much better before the naval split. So much better. Well, their battle barges, the AFD-1. If you're not talking about the SF-40s, which I don't think you are, the first one should be the AFD-1. They are great guns as long as you're fighting other coastals. And those coastals don't have rockets that nuke you like the BM-21, or you don't get artilleried by laser rocket artillery. MZ-1 is kind of fragile. It's large and kind of vulnerable damage model. Although it looks really cool. I still have to get the MZ-1 myself, I believe. Or is that the one I already have? No, I've got the Christian der Grosse. I still have to get the MZ-1. I remember Flipstick was actually one of those content creators as well. The almost panic when they said they were going to introduce mines and how that's going to really change the matchmaking, how effective they were going to be. You see like a mine kill once in a blue moon.
Attention to the map.
I think that's like Gaijin hasn't been that bad about introducing new weapon system into naval. Like, mines are fine for the most part, although the airdrop mines broke ground battles for quite some time. The missiles seem to be getting introduced nice and slow. Which Albatross? The Italian or the German one, material? Because I think with that spelling that should be the... Yeah. But I'm talking about years back as well when they first introduced mines. Yeah, the Italian one. I don't think I've played the Italian one yet. I have it, just never touched it because I think it was the last ship I researched for the Italians. Ooh, Coastal Boys. I don't like Christian der Grosse too much. Kind of fragile. In general, I do not like the slow German ships. Because they're just too slow for most coastal engagements, especially since destroyers are a thing. Yeah, exactly. Like Tyrael says, it just... They don't work well. They don't work well nowadays. Or at least I haven't gotten to get them to work well. Actually, this reminds me, Tyrael. Can't you make it so that in YouTube streams you actually refer people to another video link after the stream ends? Because I really have to look into that. Because as you say, you've made a video on the Albatross, I might just link it. I don't mind doing that at least, although I don't know that works. I really have to look into all the streaming business a bit more. Yeah. It's gonna be game, isn't it? And that was a lost player. Yeah. And there we go. Our American Blue Water Fleet recompleted. Where was I going to put it again? That is not my proper lineup, hold on. Yes, there is a Tech 3 Z47 next update. To complete the battleship picture, I'm probably going to replace the Newport News. There we go. Such a good looking battleship. It really is. And I will leave it at that for tonight. So, Wednesday. What am I going to do on Wednesday? For the time being, I just want to do like my ship grinding until the next update. And for ships, I have Graspe. If my game wants to not freeze, there we go. Graspe. Or the Italian 5-7 lineup. And I've played Italy last week. I could also do the Russians again, actually. I haven't played the Russians in quite a while. That should probably be up next. So yeah, Wednesday will be Russian cruisers. And I should have a video on the French pre-order packs out tomorrow. If I can actually bother to go there and record the footage and edit the video together. But it should be out tomorrow. Probably around the evening my time, but it should be out tomorrow. Anyways, thank you all for watching today. And I'll see you all on Wednesday.